Hello guys, and welcome to episode 26 of the TWIT, This Week in Trials. This week, to start, we got first, which was great. It's gonna be Denny's gonna be gone for 2 weeks. I think he'll be able to play this coming week. And I know Redeemer as well is soon going to be taking a step back from Destiny and focusing on IRL and getting a job, and probably gonna stop streaming and playing in general, so probably have to find a new team or get a new third at some point. I don't know exactly when that will be, but I know Redeemer is planning on dipping at some point. But yeah, we got first, and making that the 9th time that we've gotten it, which is the most that anyone has ever gotten it ever in the game, which is pretty cool. But obviously it doesn't really mean a whole lot. It's just a nice little thing to go after, honestly, because there's not too much as a PvP player to long after or anything to chase necessarily in the game. So nice to get that. This week, I don't know how a lot of you feel to now go off of the getting first, because we got first and that was a really good start to the week for me, and I still feel like I had a really bad time this week, and I feel like generally everyone was very frustrated. I seen YouTube videos from like Rick Kakis. I made a YouTube video. I seen some other people making YouTube videos about the low that Destiny is in, and several posts on Twitter saying like, I can't be the only one that's burnt out. You know, I'm so burnt out. Just quit playing Destiny so Bungie has to fix their game. Stuff like that. You know, a lot of dissatisfaction and not good stuff going on the timeline this weekend, and I feel like a lot of people really didn't like it, probably because linear fusions. I mean, probably because a lot of reasons, but I guarantee you one of the reasons is because they're nerfing linear fusions on the 8th, or it's either the 8th or the 11th is what they said, and a lot of people were probably wanting to get their linear fusion gaming in. So ultimately this week was really bad, honestly, and I didn't play much. Like, I obviously took Sunday off. I played today with Jake. I played like 10 less hours than I would typically on a Trials weekend, and I've just kind of been taking a step back from Destiny, or like streaming a whole ton recently, like this past week, because the game is just in such a bad state. And apparently, well, I mean, it should be a given, but we're going to be hearing more later this month. It was said by Joe Groth that we'll be hearing more later this month about the competitive scene of the game, or not competitive scene, but the competitive game type, and they're going to talk more about that later on this month, which is a given because the new season comes out in basically a month. So basically when the new season is about to come out, we'll be hearing more about that. We already knew that we were going to be getting a rework to comp, but honestly, kind of the way he worded it, it makes me think that they're also going to be making some changes to trials potentially, which I think is very much needed, because I don't know, I feel like there's systems and not a lot of things a lot of people agree on, and I think Bungie needs to kind of make a stance. And for example, to bring up something were not 100% on but now are, is like recubs. I feel like that's something they kind of need to make a stance on. Or maybe another good example is the fact that, you know, carries are something that are supported by the devs. Literally, for the seal, you need to carry people to the lighthouse that have never been. So boy. Anyway, let's take a look at the weapons before I get on to any other tangents, because I actually I haven't even looked at the weapons. Drang was the number 1, Arbalest number 2, Forerunner number 3, Rents number 4, No Time to Explain number 5, Funnel Web number 6, Beloved number 7, Empirical Evidence number 8, Battler number 9, and Peace of Mind number 10. Not a single hand cannon in the top 10, and hand cannons were not a single hand cannon weapon in the top 10, and then in the weapon types, hand cannon was number 5, which is, I feel like, the lowest it's been in a long time. Sidearms are just clearly dominating consistently in this sandbox, and I don't know, I personally see that as a problem, but I feel like some people are enjoying it. I guess that's one thing. Let me know in the comments below if you are enjoying this very sidearm heavy meta, sidearm pulse heavy meta, or if you preferred the hand cannon meta, hand cannon pulse, I guess, because it's mostly hand cannon, but it's very sidearm heavy meta. I feel like, honestly, the reason that is, well, I mean, everyone knows why, but it's because of the aim assist changes, and I hope that they revert those, because sidearms were, honestly, before the aim assist changes, they were good. They were really good. I was using one actually beforehand, and typically a lot of the people that would stream snipe me would be using them. Like, that was something they would use before they got the buff to aim assist. So they definitely did not need the buff. Perhaps, you know, sidearms that have rangefinder, like, I don't know. They definitely need to look at sidearms, and I think we will be hearing about this stuff at some point in like a big meaty PvP TWAB, because that typically seems to be the way that they tend to talk about things. Like, a lot of the Bungie TWABs seem very planned out. Like, it's just like, it's not really like a this week in Bungie. It's like, here's this scheduled, you know, talk we will have with the community, or like information we will put out, and that's pretty much it. So, and I guess, honestly, probably part of the reason for that is they want to compile information and make sure what they're saying is what they mean. Because obviously, if anything they say, even if it's like on like a podcast or anything, you know, people hold on to those things, and obviously their words and what they say have a lot of weight. So I think it's probably a good thing that they are very careful about what they say, and they wait to kind of like talk about everything relatively in like one sitting, rather than like doing it in random spurts or whatever, or like when it arises in the community, I guess. But I wonder when that will be, because I know we're gonna have Iron Banner next week, or no, this is the last week of trials, so we're going to be talking about, maybe we'll get to this next week, actually, but I don't know. I know they're looking at all this stuff. They see this. They either see, I mean, they definitely see linear fusions as a problem, and they will be getting nerfed, but I don't know if they see sidearms and the shift. I mean, they're definitely going to be working on pellet shotguns, but I don't know really if there is anything they can do, or even anything they have planned to alleviate or make hand cannons better in the meta. And quite frankly, hand cannons are just kind of, in my opinion, obsolete when air accuracy is taken out of the equation, because you're just not able to get that like good burst damage in the air and take advantage of like being mobile. Whereas, like, I don't know, the one thing I think that makes sidearms so good is the fact that they are actually accurate in the air. Like, they actually can hit shots in the air, and that's what makes them so good. Whereas like hand cannons, it doesn't matter like how close the person is to you. You are not hitting that guy in the air. You are done for, buddy. It is over, typically, especially if you're a stompy hunter. So anyway, I'll start to end the video here. If you guys enjoyed this week, please let me know. I know I didn't, and a lot of people did not, and this week was like hell week for many people, including myself. So if you felt that way, let me know in the comments below. Love you guys very much. Thank you for supporting the videos and myself. We're getting close to 25k on YouTube and 12k on Twitch. Also, by the way, if you haven't already, please make sure to go follow me on Twitter and Twitch. I would appreciate that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.